If you were to walk into a random classroom anywhere in the U.S., I can almost guarantee that you'd find an obese child. After being an A-certified personal trainer for over a year now, I've seen a noticeable growth in obese children. Childhood obesity should not be a problem within the U.S. An overweight youth, non-caring parents, and effort-lacking PE teachers are leading this nation into an epidemic. Childhood obesity often leads to adulthood. This is because eating habits are habits that are hard to break, so they usually do carry over into the child's adulthood. According to Obesity in America, an article, the obesity average in 1990 was 12%, and then they redid the test in 2005, and it jumped from 12% to 23%. That's a considerable increase in a short amount of time. According to an article called Diagnosis of a Trend Towards Obesity in Preschool Children, they did a study where the parents were invited in, only of the obese children, and they took roll of how many of the children's parents were actually obese themselves. And they found that most of them were obese themselves, so that's a lifestyle choice that is forced upon their children. And a little fact that the #1 killer in America today is chronic heart disease, and that's kind of sickening by itself due to the fact that could easily be changed with just proper diet and exercise. There's just a lack of will there. I want to touch base on the parents and their lifestyles. I think it's not all the parents' fault. Society's position on health today is distorted and twisted. They think not eating is a healthy way to lose weight, which that's false, because usually you relapse right back into eating, but since you haven't ate, been starving yourself, you're going to eat more than you would in the first place. And I think they think there are ways to cheat past it. This is by taking these diet pills that say they're going to make you lose 30 pounds in a week. Want to take the easiest way possible is often lead to failure. If you're doing a minimal diet with as minimal exercise also, you're not going to see the results you want, and you're going to get frustrated and think, well, I put all this work in and it didn't help, so you're just going to relapse back into that old eating habit. Also, advances in technology. According to an article, Physical Activity and Childhood Obesity, they stated that advances in technology have made it easier for the nation to be lazy. The advances in technology make everyday life easier, so people aren't physically active as they used to be because there's no need to be. If you have a device to do something for you, then why would you get up and go do it yourself? And the technology also leads one to false accusations. Prime example of all the supplements out there saying that you're going to lose all this weight or you're going to put on so much muscle in a short amount of time if you take this supplement. And they take the supplement, it doesn't work, so once again they give up. I want to go into the gym teachers being poor examples. Not all gym teachers are poor examples, obviously. That's their job. Some are actually passionate about it and in shape. But we've all had that gym teacher that's overweight and just doesn't really want to be there, and you can tell just by their body language. And they also, some of them also do harmful habits out in the public for everyone to see. An example would be like smoking or drinking. And they're out in the open so everyone can see them. So if a student of theirs were to see them do it, then they're not going to follow anything that they have to say because they're a hypocrite. Usually, another problem is with gym teachers, they usually favor kids because most of the gym teachers are coaches, so they tend to favor the more athletic kids and want them to play more, and they leave the kids on the wayside that actually need their help. And teachers allow slack in the classroom. According to an article called Stopping Childhood Obesity Before It Begins, they suggest that school gyms should be more intense. They think it's not as intense, and that gym teachers need to pick up the slack and not allow kids that if they don't dress out just to fail, and they should think they should actually push them in to keep on. They also made a statement that they thought it would be beneficial to start exercise programs as early as preschool. So that's a random thought. I'd also like to show an overweight, it's a graph. Basically what it is from 1974 all the way up to 2004, the age groups are a certain color, 2 to 5 is blue, 6 to 11 is red, and 12 to 19 is yellow. So you can tell in just that small amount of time the percentages have went up a large number. Gym teachers slacking, parents not fulfilling responsibilities, and obesity are major risk factors that need some extra attention. I propose physical education should be required each semester of school and should not be able to be opt out of. Should be taken more seriously to better impact the children that head into the future. If things continue the way I have been, tomorrow's America will be overweight.